any chance you come back and do an Iron Man or Avenger movie.
You know what's so funny?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Marvel Hollywood actors shaded Marvel.
Well, sew your pretty mouth shut.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most candid or brutal comments Hollywood actors made about the studios or movies that focused on this comic universe. We'll be including statements said about projects in and out of the MCU. If you could make a film franchise based on any Marvel character, who would you choose? Let us know in the comments down below. Number 10, Hugo Weaving.
Captain America! How exciting! I am a great fan of your films.
Hugo Weaving was already a sci-fi acting legend thanks to his villainous role in the Matrix franchise. So hearing he would play Red Skull in multiple MCU films was great news. But there were several reasons the legend didn't get red in the face again. In an interview, Weaving stated the company wasn't willing to pay him the money he was promised to return.
You are failing! We are close to an offensive that will shake the planet.
Outside of calling the studio impossible to talk salary with, the actor also shied away from the role for professional reasons. Although Weaving was happy with his first performance, he said it was not something he'd want to do again. His issues with salary and desire for something new paved the way for Ross Marquand to take over as Red Skull.
We all think that at first. We are all wrong.
Number 9, Ben Affleck.
They say your whole life flashes before your eyes when you die. And it's true.
Before Affleck put on the Batsuit, he tried to make a splash at Marvel by playing Matt Murdock. Unfortunately, the movie was blasted by many for its overly gritty tone, ridiculous characters, and baffling scenes.
So does every guy have to go through all this just to find out your name?
Try asking for my number.
But Affleck might actually dislike the movie more than the fans. In a 2014 interview, the actor called Daredevil the only movie I actually regret. The only positive part about the role he mentioned was that it pushed him to play the Dark Knight. He's far from the only performer in the movie that wasn't happy with their Marvel role. Affleck's co-star Jennifer Garner called her Daredevil spinoff Elektra awful. Additionally, she wished she'd been in the universe when MCU leader Kevin Feige could have approved the script.
Enough! It ends now!
Number 8, Edward Norton.
Para por favor. Eu raiva muito ruim.
After playing Bruce Banner in 2008's The Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton was in a prime position to make lots of MCU appearances. However, these hopes were smashed by a press release. Marvel announced the actor wouldn't return because the studio had a need for an actor who embodies the creativity and collaborative spirit of our other talented cast members. This strong statement initially prompted Norton to call the studio low, unprofessional, and very dishonest.
I should leave early as I can.
Really? You can't stay at all?
I want to, but it's just not safe for me to be here.
A 2019 interview seemed to suggest that the heated relationship had cooled down. While Norton clarified that disagreements about cash and time may have led to his exit, he had nothing bad to say about the studio. He was also delighted his friend Mark Ruffalo stepped into the big Gamma shoes.
That fight was so many years ago, I'm a completely different person now, literally.
Number 7, Ryan Reynolds.
Wait, is that you? Stryker finally figured out how to shut you up.
Fans were thrilled when they heard the Merc with the mouth would appear in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Instead of breaking the fourth wall, Deadpool broke everyone's hearts with a confusing and partially silent portrayal. Ryan Reynolds definitely agreed with the criticism of that version of the Merc.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
The actor revealed that his role as Deadpool was frustrating because the studio never wrote specific dialogue or motivations for his character. Ultimately, Reynolds mainly appeared because he could have completely lost out on the chance to play the character. Although he tried to salvage the script by making up his own lines, his efforts weren't enough to save the character. Scorn fans were happy when Reynolds figuratively and literally erased the old Deadpool in his new franchise.
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch. Just cleaning up the timelines.
Number 6, Idris Elba.
What is it?
Treason, my lord.
Whose?
Mine.
As soon as he finished playing the lead in Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, Idris Elba had to jump right back into playing Heimdall in Thor the Dark World reshoots. This drastic switch between the two very different roles wasn't easy for the actor. Although Elba attempted to get around his obligation, contracts required him to be there.
We face an enemy that is invisible even to me. What use is a guardian such as that?
He later said that it ripped his heart out to do stunts with an elaborate costume and makeup so soon after playing Mandela. Elba's negative comments didn't seem to bode well for his future as Heimdall. However, he returned to his role 4 times in 7 years. Something about the role likely motivated Elba to see past his bad feelings towards the second Thor's reshoots.
Heimdall?
I see you're dead now.
Yeah.
Thank you for looking after my son.
Number 5, Chloe Bennett.
And, thanks for the spaceship.
Yeah. Don't mention it.
One of the most exciting aspects of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in its early days was the promise that its overall story would be closely connected to the events of the MCU films. However, fans and S.H.I.E.L.D. actress Chloe Bennett noticed the number of connections between the movies and series decrease as time went on.
We're in this together. We need to join forces.
During one tongue-in-cheek Q&A, she said that Marvel didn't seem to care what happened on the show. Bennett also called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the black sheep of the MCU in another candid interview. The fact that game-changing events like the snap barely made a blip on the show's radar added fuel to the actress's claims.
The end justifies the means, right?
The only people who say that are the people doing bad things.
Number 4, Mickey Rourke.
If you can make God bleed, then people will cease to believe in him. And there will be blood in the water.
Mickey Rourke went the extra mile to hone his accent and mannerisms to play Ivan Vanko in 2010's Iron Man 2. Despite his work, his villain was seen as one of the most underdeveloped big bads in the franchise. Rourke later stated that his writer and director supported the actor's desire for a layered approach to the character.
And now, like all guilty men, you try to rewrite your own history. And you forget all the lives the Stark family has destroyed.
But the star blamed the studio for the terrible result. According to Rourke, Marvel wanted Vanko to be one-dimensional and remove scenes that would have fleshed out his character more. He also said, if they want to make mindless comic book movies, then I don't want to be a part of that. Rourke's statements seemed to hint that he wouldn't take another crack at Whiplash anytime soon.
Hey man, don't get too attached to things. Learn to let go.
Number 3, Christopher Eccleston.
Your world and your family will be extinguished!
The often outspoken Christopher Eccleston certainly didn't mince words about his role as Malekith in 2013's Thor the Dark World. Before he even got on set, he was upset about the extensive makeup process that turned him into an evil dark elf. Outside of calling the studio dishonest about the process, he also expressed his issues with the role itself.
Stand down, creature, and you may still survive this.
I have survived worse, woman.
Eccleston said the movie lacked humor, and that working on it basically felt like he was being held at gunpoint. Most critics and fans shared his negative feelings, and blasted the second Thor film for its flat characters and confusing plot.
Needn't have come so far, Asgardian. Death would have come to you soon enough.
Despite the bad reception and rough experience, Eccleston entertained the idea of coming back if Thor Ragnarok's writers handed him a script. Number 2, Sally Field.
I'm leaving. To be naked here. Morning, I love you.
Sony's amazing Spider-Man franchise was stacked with plenty of top-notch acting talent. Two-time Oscar winner Sally Field was especially great as the iconic Aunt May. Unfortunately, she didn't seem to like the part that much. When interviewed on The Howard Stern Show, she fully expressed her true feelings about May.
Me, your stupid, non-scientific aunt who doesn't know how to make ends meet, who has to take nursing classes with 22-year-old kids so I can pay for you to go to college.
Phil stated that she initially only took the role as a favor to a late producer friend who worked on The Amazing Spider-Man. Once in the franchise, she found it difficult to bring any nuance to the character. Field went as far as to say, you can't put 10 pounds of manure in a 5-pound bag. And she didn't say manure. While Phil didn't really care for her role, she did praise Garfield's performance.
Oh, I am so proud of you, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Terrence Howard.
Any chance you come back and do an Iron Man or Avenger movie?
You know what's so funny?
Before 2008's Iron Man ended, it was extremely obvious that Terrence Howard's Rhodey would take flight as a superhero in the next movie. But he was quickly grounded before he could appear in any follow-up films. According to reports, Marvel offered less money than they had previously promised for Howard's next appearance. The actor has since called out the studio for going back on their word and not following through. Howard has also claimed that although he could lead multiple successful Marvel movies as Rhodey, he's very unlikely to come back.
I think they could have a huge franchise off of it, but
The actor's very public exit and multiple comments constantly keep him in conversations about Marvel recastings. It's unlikely anyone will forget that he was the original choice for War Machine.
Hey, buddy. Didn't expect to see you here.
Look, it's me. I'm here to deal with it. Let's move on.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.